Hey, what's up everybody? Isaac here. In this video, I'm going to go over the units that I think are the most important in the current state of the game, and that is as of December 1st, 2021. And things can change as units do occasionally get buffs and nerfs, but in the current state of the game, I am going to give you my opinion on the units you should be grinding to if you are new to Conquerors Blade and you want to get to the endgame content as soon as possible. So we're going to jump right into the unit tree. We press U on our keyboard, brings us into this tab. It'll probably open up our barracks, but we click on the unit tree. Most important units from here: Imperial Pike Guard, Palace Guard, and the Iron Reapers are pretty good too, but in my opinion, they're not bang for your buck. You don't need them immediately by any means. So the next line here is the ranged infantry. Forget about everything on this list. It's just not important. Anything ranged in Conqueror's Blade, it's just not viable. There's only really one decent ranged unit in my opinion, and that's the Pavis Crossbowman. And that's not talking about the Falconetti Gunner. We'll get to those. Those are a whole different unit. They are ranged, but yeah. Coming down to the cavalry tree, most important unit here is the Winged Hussars. They are still one of the better, if not arguably one of the best units in the game. Obviously, they're cavalry, so they're situational, but for sure, eventually going to be wanting to get the Winged Hussars. You might want to hold off at first on these as far as bang for your buck. Unlock some of the infantry units and start working on the other seasonal units. But eventually, that is one you're going to want to get is the Winged Hussars. Jump down to the Knights, and on this page, the really only good unit is the Monastic Knights. They're an endgame viable cavalry for sure. I think the Hussars are maybe a little bit better, and there's another cavalry unit that we'll get to from the seasonal units that is very good as well. So Monastic Knights, eventually you're going to want to get those. Maybe not the first unit, though. And then we skip down to the Rattan Army, and you don't need anything from here. Forget about this line. So, yeah, that covers that. And we're going to jump into the seasonal units. Press F5. It's going to take us to this overview page. And then we can click on Season Challenges. And we are at Season 9. Season 9 is coming to an end shortly, so we'll have to see what Season 10 brings. But Season 9's got a couple of interesting units. The last one, the Grenadiers, yeah, forget about those if you're just strictly looking for endgame content, because their range just doesn't cut it for endgame content in Conqueror's Blade. The Accerators, are pretty good. I haven't played them enough to know exactly what they're capable of, but I would say get them. I wouldn't say they're highest priority since the season's about to come to an end. I wouldn't start grinding them too hard unless you're already working on them. But I would say the most important one, in my opinion, is Season 8. So we have the Gray-Haired Garrisons and the Medal Battalion. They're both very, very good units. The Medal Battalion, in my opinion, are one of the best units in the game. Extremely versatile. They're great against cavalry. So great anti-cavalry. They're great against infantry. So they can be used in so many different situations. Cudgel Monks, not very good, but you're going to have to unlock them first to get to the Gray Hairs. Then once you unlock the Gray Hairs, then you can unlock the Medal. So definitely put Season 8 high priority. Get those units. Season 7, Berserkers are good. I wouldn't put them at the top of the list. Some people would because they love their Berserkers, but they're kind of situational. If you love to be frontline, you want to make huge frontline impact plays, Berserkers aren't it. They are a great cleanup unit. So situationally, they are an excellent unit, but the main one you're going to be wanting from this tree. Sons of Fenrir, they're a blue unit, so they're not endgame. They're fun to use here and there, but they're not really endgame. So Berserkers, worthwhile to get, but not top priority shield maidens. Some people swear by them, but in my opinion, they're not worthwhile. So we'll move down to Season 6. And the Armiger Lancers, in my opinion, one of the ones you're going to want to work towards, maybe second or third priority. The value you get out of these are the only real viable purple cavalry, and they stack up against gold cavalry if you use them right. You can use them against basically any golden cavalry in the game. If you know, it basically comes down to who outplays who. So definitely a unit you're gonna want to get. You gotta unlock the land sharks first. They're a great unit for being blue, but once again, they're not gonna quite compete with the purples and the golds in the game. The Liao Rangers, they're all right. Eventually, you want to unlock them, but bang for your buck, I wouldn't worry too much about them for now. The Armiger Lances are gonna be the main one here, and then we'll go down to Season 5. I would say hold off on this season for now. The Flame Boys are an excellent unit, and the Paladins and the Stalwarts are both good units as well, but there's a few other units like the Season 8 units that I think are going to be more important for you to get to start off with. Eventually, these are some good units to get, but I would not put this in the first, second, or third priority personally. You know, I used to love my Paladins and Stalwarts, use them like crazy, but as the seasons progressed and new units came out, they kind of went to the wayside a little bit. Season 4, I would also put this season on the back burner. Azaps are good, Silidars are good. Definitely units you want to get eventually, but not top priority by any means. Season 3, and I would say this is about third priority. Season 8 first to get you the mainstays, the units that you absolutely need, like the Madao. And then I would go to season what was that season again? Season 6, and get the Lancers. So you're gonna have an excellent cavalry unit, so you can be kind of versatile with a little bit of infantry, a little bit of cavalry. And then I would work on season 3, because we got the Fortebraccios, and the Fortebraccios, they're really good at certain things. They're really slow to move around the map, so they're not as versatile as, say, like the Madao. But there's certain things they can do that no other unit can do, because they have extremely long pikes. They can stick their pikes out into doorways, so they're a good unit to have. Not as important as the Madao, but getting them, they'll add, you know, a few more tools to your toolbox. So Fortebraccio are a great unit. You're going to have to unlock the Condottieri Guards first. Not endgame, but they're a fun little unit to play with. Falconetti Gunners are another one that just add an extra tool to your toolbox. Not something you're going to be wanting to pull out every game, but they are an extremely important unit. They can change the tide of battle more than arguably any unit can, because they can just destroy formations like crazy. Basically, they're a portable artillery unit. And then, yeah, so then we got the Pavis Crossbowmen. In my opinion, these are the best ranged unit in the game. You know, the Falconetti, yes, they're a ranged unit, but I don't compare them with the other ranged units. They're a completely different ballgame. They're basically portable artillery. So, Pavis Crossbowmen, you know, I would say get them eventually, but they are arranged. They're not as effective as a lot of the other units. They're not going to make as big of a difference, but when it comes to range, they are one of the slightly viable ranged units in the game. So eventually you're going to want to get those. You can also unlock them through the unit tree. So you can spend honor to get them, or you can do the challenges. And that leaves us with Season 2. Season 2 is kind of an interesting one here, because we got a bunch of units here that aren't very viable. But we do have the Keshigs. The Keshigs are an interesting unit. They used to be extremely overpowered. Then they got nerfed, so they weren't usable. And they got a buff recently that makes them actually a really good unit to have again. The only problem is they're the hardest unit to unlock in the game. If we click on them, we have to unlock all of these stages. Then we get to the last stage, and that's where we finally get our Keshigs. Where a lot of the other units, you only have to unlock a few stages before you get the unit. Yeah, this one's kind of crazy to unlock. So, it'd be nice if they kind of nerfed how hard it is to get. But they seem to be leaving it like it is for now. So, definitely a great unit to have. But as far as bang for your buck, how long it takes to unlock them, I wouldn't put them first priority. Maybe like fourth priority. So, back over it. Season 8, my opinion, top priority. Season 6, arming your Lancers, second priority. To get yourself a really good cavalry unit to go along with your infantry unit. Make yourself versatile. And next priority, in my opinion, is going to be Season 3. Get yourself the Forte and the Falconettis. And then from there, kind of pick and choose what you want to go for. Do you want to grind out the Keshigs? Do you want to grind out the Flame Boys? Get your Liaos. Liaos are a good option to make yourself a little more versatile, get an extra cavalry unit. So I guess that would probably be the next thing I would go for after getting Season 3. So Season 8, complete Season 8 challenges. Season 6, get up to the Lancers. Season 3, get up to the Falconetti Gunners. And then come back, get your Rangers. And from there, kind of pick and choose. But at that point, you're going to be so well set up. And you never know, there'll probably be some changes. Some changes in the game. They'll probably bring some new units in that are going to change up the meta. See what season, what are we at? Season 10 now? Yeah, we'll have to see what Season 10 brings us. So that'll probably change up the meta a little bit. But typically, there's still a few other units from the past seasons that stay viable. So just a quick overview on some ideas I think you should grind towards if you want to get to that endgame content as soon as possible. If you're like me, you kind of want to skip through the fluff and you don't want to waste your time on units that just aren't going to do the job for you, aren't going to make you competitive. So that's it for now. Any questions, you can leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to get back to you. Thank you.